implementing payment system?
Cái đó optional. Optional.
Optional nhưng mà mình vẫn
Có hướng dẫn, có snippet hết trơn. Nhiều thứ quá đâu kịp.
3 tháng đâu có đủ đâu phải.
Okay. Share screen. Record trước rồi mới share. Share screen. Hello. Still have Vinh or Wang's here. Mình missing Quân. Yeah. Quân. Quân sắp here. Quân. Duy. Quân and Duy. Okay, let's go. Okay. From the morning, we have so the front end already received what? The user and the token, right? What's your next step? Milestone 3. So now you can guess what you have to do with the token and the user object. Yeah, just like it. What about the token? You have to store the token somewhere, right? If you don't store it, so every request, how do you validate the user for every request?
You store the token in local storage?
Yeah, it could be, or session storage, or cookie, or anywhere. So let's go with the simplest one first. Storage. Cookies, huh? Actually, they are pretty much the same because it's all in the browser, and everything in the browser can be stolen. Right? Okay, let's go with the local storage. It's very common, like it's kind of like the beginner step to store the first token. So we store the token inside our local storage, and we also set the user, right? So let's go to our front end. To set state, we need a state called user, set user, right? Yep. So by default, there's no user. So I will go with the simplest way. If there's no user, user will know. Okay. And here, when we receive the data, we can set state, set user, will be user, set local storage, set item. I will set with a key name token. Okay.
Wait.
And the data, the value will be.
You said this is front end?
Yeah. There's no use state on inside Express, right? Okay, so it's done. Okay, now so now I'm gonna console log user, save it, and check my app. Okay, cons. Really? Oh my God, why do I have the comma here? Okay, by default, you don't have user, so that's why it's no. And when you log in with Facebook, okay, so here's the user object on line 31, right? You have it, which means you're logged in now. You also check your application, go to storage, local storage. I have a key called token, and this is a token that I just received. So here you go. Right. Okay. So also about front end. So how do you protect a route if a user is not logged in? Let's not use Redux right now. We will use. I will have an extra class for Redux Punk. Maybe on Friday or Saturday. Redux. Okay. Charles says you don't need to use Redux at all. You already have something called React context. It's very similar to Redux, but a bunch of companies they use Redux, Redux and Redux Saga or MapX. There's something called MapX as well. So basically, these tools are just tools to help you manage state management tools. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter which one you use, as long as you understand the concept, know how to use it. That's fine, right? But before using Redux, you need to know how to pass from the parent component to the child. So that's the basic of React. So I'm gonna use user as a it's kind of like a global variable, right? It's gonna be everywhere. Yeah. User. And okay, so now how do I protect this route if the user is not logged in?
If you go back to
Why? What for?
local storage.
No, stop sending me out. Okay, so how did you protect this route, this component profile, this URL?
We learned this before.
Yeah, we learned this before.
I need to go to my notes.
All right, so let's review here as well. Create a higher order component to wrap around this. So here we go. I'm gonna call it utils. Inside util, I'm gonna create a protected route. Right. Yes.
Wait, so create a details folder.
Yeah.
Within
you can name
source.
You can name anything you want. I normally name utils. Okay, so let's see. Oh, now I can use AppC. Thank God. All right. So in this component, you have something called props, right? Normally, props. And you can restructure it. You have component. Rename the variable to capital, because when you render a component, it has to be the capital. The first letter has to be capital. And the rest will be, you can call it prop. Wow, what is that? All right, so now you have two cases. If there's prop.user, else, right? So final result, we will replace route here with protected route, right? Okay. And we also not this one, sorry. This one. We also pass the user. Okay. So here in this component, we have something called props of the user, right? So if there's prop of the user, we will render the route. Route props component render equal component. So here's the reason why we need to rename the variable component, lowercase component to uppercase component. And okay, so we have browse else. What do we do? We don't have the browse user. What do we do? For example, I would want to redirect the user back to my home page or my login page. Depends. So whatever you want. So I'm gonna redirect to my home page. Okay.
So do exact?
No, not really. So now we need to import the two component route and redirect from where?
You have to have it done.
Yes. Right.
And then you can read up.
We also need to pass prop as well. So we pass all the props to this component, whatever the component is. So can you tell me what's the component here? The real component? In this case?
User.
Yes, profile. So this is actually a profile, but we name it component because we don't know the name, right? It can be anything. So we just name it as a component, it's a variable. So in this case, it's going to be your profile component, right? So here you have a props called component, lowercase. You change it to uppercase and call it, right? Okay, let's try it. Protected route is not defined. Yes, I didn't import it from my app. Import protected route from utils / protected route. Ooh, what's wrong? Okay. All right, so here's my home route. If I go to profile page, what should I see? Yeah, you should see home page, right? You see nothing changed. You still see home page because you're not logged in, right? It's no here. That's why you are redirected to homepage, even though you click on profile. I click upon the Trump here. Okay. So now if I log in, what happened? So open the model, log in with Facebook. Okay, there's a user here. Now if I go to profile page, okay, change. So that's how you rotate a route. Right, next step. So we done here, Myson tree, we done. So Myson for, how do we make it persistent? Like if I refresh the page here, sorry, if I refresh the page, if I hit reload, what should I see? In this case, right now, what should I see? No, homepage. See? Why? Because the state is null. So when you reload the page, state is gone. Every state is gone. Let's go back to your initial state. Sorry?
But I thought you use local storage to store the login.
You store what?
The token.
Only token.
Oh, but not the login?
You don't store the user object, and you should not store user object. Okay. So we can make it persistent by using a token to send a request to the endpoint to get the user object in your use effect. In your use effect, so every time you load the page, you use effect to call an API.
Which is essentially getting the data from the user object.
The data from your backend, right? Which is your user object. So that's why we need this endpoint. Type like get my profile. And on the backend side, you will have to use something like this, the R middleware, to return the user object, right? So if you don't have it, go back to week 8 or week 9 assignment, copy and paste. It's very similar, don't worry. Right, so let's define the function here. I'm going to call fetch user. It can be anything. Scene const respond equal await fetch http localhost 5000 users me. So I expect to see a user object, right? In this case, you also have to send what? The token in your header, right? Here we go. You need to send the token inside your authorization key in the headers. So here we go. The second argument of fetch will be an option. And I'm going to call it headers. Headers is an object. Inside header, we have a key called authorization. And it's going to be better. So here is it's kind of like a standard that a lot of like most of the web app follow. There's a link on the, it's kind of like term. Like you also have token here, it's also okay, but there's a different like 4 or 5 standards, and better is kind of like the most popular one.
Or can you use this also?
Oh yeah, if you want to use it, it's okay. Very similar. But your window object have something called fetch, so let's use the fetch. Okay, so here we need to attack the token. So I'm gonna call it token. So here, const token equal to local storage dot get item token, right? Now we check if not token, we simply return.
Token, the token, like comma dt.token.
What? Which line? Which line are you talking about?
I mean, I was just looking at that.
So this function, the first thing here, we get a token from the storage, right? If there's no token, we stop the whole function. Okay. If there's a token, we send a get request to get the user object. And content type. Yep. Yes. So it's very important, guys. If you want to get any information, if you want to call any APIs that require user login, you need to set it type like this, right? You need the headers, you need the authorization key. Right now, every single request will receive the JSON in response, so we need to provide the content type as well. Okay, so you will repeat this a lot. Okay, the difference here is method. It's going to be get by default. By default, it's get, so you don't need to state. Just remove it. Right. So now you need to listen to the response. You can do if here, if res.ok, and respond const dt equal to await res.json, right? Then what do you do next? I'm going to set user dt.data. So what the hell is dt.data? It's from our backend code. Here we go. Data is the user object, right? So that's it. So now we need to call the function in a use effect. So normally I would put the I would define on the state up here as well as the use effect. Okay. That's it. I'm gonna save. Right. So now I can test my front-end app. All right. Use effects not defined. Cool. Define it. Right. So the first time the app run, the user is null, right? And then there's some value in here. Right. So how do you? So if I go to login, profile, sorry, it kicked me to home page. Why is that? Yeah. So this is a big, this is a serious problem. How do we guard against this? So now you can actually go to profile. Yes. See.
When you refresh it, you will be lost, right? No, no.
Still there, but the default value will be no here. If you reload the page, the token is still there, but this request take a couple of milliseconds to run. Right, so, but this logic here is executed right away, right? Here. So how do we go against that? Right, so let's take a couple of minutes to think about it first. Basically, we are almost done. So milestone 3 and 4 are almost done. But sometimes in your real app, you run into bugs or unexpected behavior and you need to deal with it. So let's think, and the way you deal with it depends. Like people will do it differently. The problem is, what's this? Okay, problem is everything is fine. Everything works fine. You log in, right? You can go to profile page. It's fine. But if you hit reload, you kick it to home page. All right. So I will give you a couple of minutes to follow the code and then think. Right. So I'm gonna stop this recording, and there will be a solution later. Think.
That's asking way too much of us.
Oh, and the next step, you will have assignment is to log in with email, right? That's your assignment today.
Oh God, I'm hard.
Log in with email.
So basically, each time you log in, it will send an email to verify whether it's true or not. Or
You need to send email and password to log in. Okay. Assume that you already have the user in your database.
we're not talking about the mail gun or something like that, right?
No, not the email stuff. Just log in with email. It's very similar to this one. We're almost done. Just one more logic to stop it. And think of how to deal with it. Right. Oh, wait. Do we have any question before I stop? It's very simple, right? You just stay here. Oh, okay. Sorry. Wait. Hang on. Okay, I missed one condition. I missed one thing here. If response is not okay, what do we do?
Return.
Yeah, before return. Yeah, return is done. Yeah, it's the last thing here, so you don't need to return. What do we have to do? If response is not okay.
Not correct, okay?
Yes, not correct token. What do we do if the token is not correct? Remove it.
I'm sorry?
Remove the token from the storage, right? And it's going to be there forever. And then every time you log in, you reload the page, you see the same response, right? So you need to remove it. So local storage dot remove item. Here's the name of the item token. That's it. All right. So I'm going to stop everything.